Todd, what's up again? How's it going?
Hey, hey, good
Hey,
morning.
tell everybody a little bit about the South City Group. And I'm talking to you in Atlanta. That's where you're based. That's where you founded
Okay.
the company, CEO. Tell us a little about what you guys do, and love for people to hear more about that.
Yeah, so South City Group, we are a small boutique firm of executive coaches, and we do executive coaching, leadership development, executive development. And our uniqueness is we're actually, all of us as coaches, we're trained on both sides of psychology. So the clinical side of psychology as well as the leadership side.
Mhm.
And what I mean by the clinical is, so for example, Rhett, you and I are licensed marriage and family therapists. So we are not uh, going to just be isolated just to talking about leadership. We're looking at the whole person
Yeah.
and the whole team, and we look at systems, and we want to help. Our goal is really just to galvanize greatness in yourself as a leader, so that you could scale that greatness to calling out greatness in your team, your family, your organization.
Yeah, and now more than ever, it's like thinking about systems. And I was on a call there. Well, actually, I was on a call with you. I was looking at a video you sent me of your son, Jack, on the Indo board. And as he was on it, I heard someone playing piano in the background. And then I heard, Bev talking about something. And I remember getting off the phone and talking to Heather. It sounds like our house was like really playful over there right now, like calm, relaxed. So what's going on?
It's kind of just how it is over at our place. I think we have adapted this ethic of play, really. And several years ago, when I was just really stressed with the business and growing this thing, and pretty felt like I was overworking myself and pretty stressed out, and watched this TED Talk by a guy who wrote a book called Play, and just reminded me of the science of the healing powers of play.
Mhm.
And what play means is not just acting goofy. I mean, play is really anything that brings us pleasure that's not directly related to work production. So it could mean playing the piano, it could mean singing, it could mean dancing, it could mean walking the dog, it could mean silently listening to some quiet music and reading a book. It could mean being outside. Right now, our kids, one of our favorite things to do as a family is to play Foursquare. You remember
That's
that
awesome.
that
Yeah.
recess
Yeah.
game? And it was almost like the most powerful kids were always in that number one square or whatever. But we have sidewalk chalk, and it's easy. You have a red playground ball. In fact, we popped ours, so we had to order another one, and it's taking 2 weeks to get here on Amazon. It's 2 weeks now, so our red ball won't come till next Sunday. But the kids love to just do Foursquare, something easy we can always do, or get outside and go climb something, or just goof off together.
What
Just a powerful aspect of mental health.
Yeah, it seems like lots of people are outdoors gardening these days. And I've been running a lot, playing a lot. I enjoy running. I feel like I play, but I've noticed I think I've actually been running too much, and made me think about maybe part of my running I need to rest, because you and I have talked about that resting period, that play period allows other parts of ourselves to rebuild emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually.
Yeah, yeah. One of the things that we know about play, and it's tied to rest and recovery, is actually from the science of how we build muscle.
Hmm.
And I mean, all the orthopedics know this already, and the doctors know this. But here's the irony of how we build muscle. We think we're building muscle when we work out,
Right.
like lifting weights or go run, that we're working the muscle, we're building the muscle. Here's the cool thing how this thing happens. We're only tearing down muscle when we do that. When we're lifting weights, we're tearing our muscle. We're not building it. When the muscle is built is actually when we're at rest. Because when the muscle's at rest, all the muscle fibers basically have this conversation to themselves. Their little self-talk is, ouch, that hurt. We don't want that to happen again. So what they do is, to guarantee that that pain doesn't happen, they rebuild their fibers and expand their fibers to be stronger. And that's actually when the muscle builds, to ward off that pain happening again. And so if we're not actually resting enough, then all that work we think we're doing actually is only tearing us down. So
So
that's why they say for like runners, since you're a runner, they advocate, a lot of the running coaches advocate for days off, because it's
yeah.
on your day off where your muscles actually need to rebuild and through the rest and recovery.
What do you think? I can see where it might be easier, though I know it's hard for a family to say, hey, let's set some time aside. Let's go play a game. Let's play Foursquare. Let's go for a walk. But if you're in an organization and you're leading a team and there's lots of pressure right now to be productive and to, there's lots of stress right now, how do you capture that as a leader of a team and get your team to play? Like, what are some suggestions that you have that they could, from top down, kind of institute that or make that really important?
So from top down, if you're the stakeholder, the decision maker, I think you can really talk about some boundaries on work that you are going to instill together collectively. And it's got to be from top down.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be saying, hey, if you want to kind of work whenever you want to and cut off boundaries, people aren't going to do that, because nobody wants to be seen as the slacker. They're just going to drive their performance and productivity even harder. So I think from top down, to be able to say, hey, here are some times where no one's going to work. It could be that you say, hey, no work Wednesdays. Right now, every day's a Saturday, right? So it's like all the days kind of blend together. You could say, hey, let's pick a day in the middle of the week where parents have just been grinding. If you have two dual income earners trying to figure out how to end with kids, and after 2 days, you're toast. You literally are toast. Your productivity on Wednesday is probably going to be not much. It's going to be marginal at best. So what if you did no work Wednesdays? And it's just an example where Wednesday was your day to catch up on everything else and just focus on your family, rest, recover, get outside. You're going to feel so much better. People are going to be so excited to come back and jump on that Zoom call Thursday morning and go, what are we going to attack today? And then you do 2 more hard days of grind. And then Saturday is a no call or no expectations, and you kind of catch up. And then one thing that we're saying is, hey, to leaders, tell your families, hey, on Sundays, no work at all, not even from home. Just like go take a Sunday day together as a family and go play, go get outside. So I think you can, from the top down, you can change the rules on when you want your team to actually work, so that no one feels like when they're playing, which is healthy, that they're slacking off.
Yeah, because if you're in a position where you're having to report up, there's no way you're going to take that day off probably to go just ride bicycles all day. But if if your boss says, you know what, I've decided every Friday, no one's working, I'm going to ride the bike, and actually models that behavior or whatever they like to do in terms of play, man, that's pretty powerful,
Yes, it's the same thing that when they say, hey, we're all done at 5, but then at 10 o'clock at night, they get emails from their boss. I mean, don't send emails at night. If you're trying to focus on your family or trying to rest or read a book or just trying to decompress from the day and you get emails from your boss at night, number one, that's saying, it's basically sending the message to your team that, hey, if I'm working at night, everybody needs to be working at night. And then that one email is so distressful. So it disrupts whatever playful, pleasurable moment that they were having by themselves or with their families.
Man, there's some really powerful things that could come out of this time then, I think, if organizations top down were to shift some of this stuff, it'd be, and so, you made me think too, I took off yesterday, I'm taking off today from running, man. I'm going to rest knowing that this is actually important for my recovery and long-term growth. So,
well, Rhett, the other thing too, I think that people need to know, like when we're talking about running, when I go out for a run, I may go out for a 4 or 5 mile run. When you're like running like 50, 60 miles a week. You're kind of you're one of the crazy ultra guys.
Long and slow runs. I've tried to keep up with your son, on a run, and he toasts me. So
he's crazy.
Maybe one day.
He's crazy.
Well, hey man, Todd, it's good catching up, and we'll talk later on. All right.
You bet.
All right. Take care. Bye.